Let it consume you. Starfield.
So we got a lot of interesting information that has come out from the recent interview from Kinda Funny Games about Starfield. We're doing this late at night. I'm just now seeing this thing right here, and who knows, man? It is what it is. Let's go on and check this out. I'm very excited about something. I heard the interview earlier, but I decided to film this video this time of day because there's certain things that I liked about it, and certain things I want to say been misconstrued and not taken, I want to say taken seriously. It seems like there's some things that's been taken out of context, but I'll find the original video if I have time. We'll see what this thing has to say. Of course, it's from Twitter. We got a dumbed down thing of all the new information, so let's check it out. Okay, is that little thing going on? Is that going on? We shall see. Okay, Earth from the Tire. This comes from Starfield News. This person is on lock, like seriously on lock. They have everything down. Okay, roughly, see, this is the main thing. Roughly 10% of all planets have life. That's the main topic of description right here, is what I want to talk about later on in the interview. There's certain things that's here that's been misconstrued. I'll give you my stance on it later. Surveying 100% of the planet gives you research data which can be sold for credits. We knew about this, but we didn't know we can sell the actual data for the ships and stuff, for all the survey information. We didn't know that. That's pretty good. You can become sick and get other ailments if your spacesuit does not accommodate the planet you're on. Yes, we've seen this. We've seen some ailments in some of the screenshots with the actual cursor or the with the HUD. We've seen things like that, broken arm, broken leg, some of that kind of thing. So we're pretty much getting something similar to the diseases in Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, or the broken bones in Fallout, which is very, very cool. It gives you more lore accurate things. It puts you in the world that you're going to be in. That's also really, really dope. Here's one thing with people that like no fishing. Honestly, this is one thing I really kind of cared about. I don't care about fishing as a whole. Like, that's, why would you want to fish on a planet when you have a space or something like that? I know it's another aspect because they haven't really shown any pure water feats or something like that. If you can go underwater, cool, but to me that's not a deal breaker. I can care less about fishing, but my thing is I wanted to be able to go underwater. I know if people see me on Twitter, I've been having a lot of mock-ups and sketches and stuff like that. Of course, AI images where I'm tweaking the image to see if we'll get something like that for underwater combat. I want to see something similar to BioShock like that, because if you come out with some underwater creatures and something like that, that would be really, really dope, really, really cool. You know, expanding the lore and something like that. Maybe some DLC and stuff like that for later on. Even though we'll just get started and mods can do something later. But who knows? Be like a dreg or a land dreg that's really good. No land vehicles. I suspected there would be no land vehicles anyway, even though I kind of like for them to have land vehicles. But ultimately, I can care less about land vehicles. Meaning, they don't, it's like, for me in this kind of game, the jetpack is pretty much the basic mobility and movement of the game. That, or at least that's what I thought it was going to be. But I see a lot of people complaining, oh, we want to use a rover, maybe some drones or a robot. Maybe we can get like a thing taking around cargo. No, I don't think that has a place in the game like this. You already have your ship customization. They could probably dumb it down and give you like a cart or something like that. But I honestly don't see the purpose of it. Just for transporting things to live your fantasy or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that the jetpack serves its purpose. At least that's what I believe. Like, then again, people will say, oh, with the size and scope of the game, you can actually do it with, you probably could. You know, you see tire tracks of stuff moving around. You see ships and stuff coming in. I think that's enough. I don't think we need true rovers as a whole. But, you know, I'm just one dude. I'm different when it comes like that. There are both hostile and docile creatures that can attack and prey on each other. That right there is pretty really cool. Kind of like the Monster Hunter effect. You see creatures interact with each other. That is another situation where wildlife and stuff matters in this kind of game, which gets me to a topic later on, which I'm gonna say I'm gonna get a lot of hate for my stance on it but I'm different, you know. It's like it makes the world more believable, pretty much. Like Todd said, creatures and stuff interacting with each other, just like Horizon Forbidden West. You know, that's like a, you know, you see how the animals and stuff act, which is pretty cool. at its own. So even though I don't care for Horizon that much, I never completed any of the games. The story and stuff wasn't appealing to me. I have both games, by the way. It's just, I don't know, something about it, but that's here nor there. Next, companions can get mad with you depending on your choices you have made. They've already talked about this statement right here multiple times. You know, you see Todd, it's like, they can get mad at you. We don't know if they can leave the party, something like that. Maybe they can have their own little story arcs. Your choices do matter. They can betray you, probably something later on down the road, but we don't know how in-depth the thing is going to be. You know, just like the Inigo mod. You know, Inigo, or was it Inigo mod for Skyrim? That was one of the things Todd took a lot of influence, and the team took a lot of influence from. It was a really, really good mod, but you guys should check it out, man. Fully voiced, fully dynamic mod. You know, and I'm pretty sure they took some influence from that, 100%. 4 romance options, only constellation companions. This right here, I know a lot of people are going to take some offense to this, because of course we know the romance options are of course optional, but people don't like to get pinned down to barely any characters, you know what I mean? They would like to go out in the world to find their mate, you know, have their own monster or something like that, develop with some kind of interest. But to have your own constellation people here, that's like, we already know who's the option. But who knows, man? Maybe some stuff down the road and some mods you can romance someone else. That's not that big a deal. We don't know what purpose it serves besides specific, you know, in-game mechanics. But some people are gonna hate that for how vast the game is. But who knows? Enough robot companions to fully crew your ship. This right here also can be construed out of interest for people, because I know at least 2 of them you can have, and that's what they gave 2 examples, but we don't know any of the other things, because there's one secret that's in this game that they haven't been telling us, that you can see inklings thrown throughout the whole directs and all the interviews and stuff like that. There's also that as well. And we don't know how many robots companions, like how big can your crew get? That's one thing that we still don't know. But that's ultimately a good idea. You can have different varieties, kind of like Colonel, or whatever his name was from Fallout 4 is pretty good. 1 radio station localized to a specific location that you can dial onto when you're far away from it. Okay. We know 1 localized radio station. Is that specific to that planet, or 1 radio station localized to a specific location that you can dial onto when you're away from it? Okay, so I'm assuming that's 1 radio station that gives you a lot of narratives from this particular part of the galaxy and stuff like that. You know, they'll probably have a different little charts and stuff. Like, oh, you're gonna see this at this time. Like a true radio station. You have this going here and that going there. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how in depth, because if it's 1 radio station, they have a lot of segments and stuff in there. They could do a lot, because you know, Fallout had a lot of radio stations. You know, having different quest things, stuff like that. 1 pure music thing is pretty good, or you can have different signals and stuff like that you can pick up later on, which is also nice. Stolen ships can be customized but require registration. This is what I assumed that was going to happen in this game. Totally. Like the contraband thing. Say like you go to a planet with a stolen ship. They'll attack you if it's not registered. You probably have to go through some hoops to get your ship registered and stuff like that. Or trade ships, trade parts from ships. Like that's more believable in this world. That was really, really cool to me. Interior of the ship is customizable. We've seen this multiple times without the, well, it says ship. You know, how in depth can this stuff go? Because you know, Todd Howard and the crew, they like to do a lot of in-depth kind of things. You put this A, B, and C there. You put your couches over. You put some fountains. You could put some living quarters. You probably put a TV, some mining crew stuff. You know, have a little chair, stuff like that. I do kind of like that. I did like Hearthstone and Skyrim and some of the little cool mods that they had for Skyrim. It was pretty cool, man. Like, I've been saying that throughout this. I'm a Bethesda fan, a fanatic, but that's really good. We have confirmation that's specifically going to have this. Todd describes Starfield as a modder's paradise. Obviously, he said this like about 3 times. You saw this on his first interview, the Skyrim Direct, kind of. He alluded to it. There's one thing that people don't know about. How in-depth is going to be the actual mod tools for the creation kit. When the creation kit 2 comes out, whenever they do it, They're going to get a lot of access. It's pretty much their game that you're going to put in your engine. You're giving you the engine to mod stuff. There's heck a lot of planets and stuff to do with, you know, biomes galore, locations galore, ships galore, everything that you want, color, blah, blah, blah. The tools are there. We don't know how much of the tools we're going to get for DLC costs or, you know, the creation club. You could probably have stuff that have exclusive widespread missions like that. We don't know how this is going to go, but I do believe this is going to be a modder's paradise because this is the biggest content they've ever made, and it's the biggest scope they've ever made in general. They give you the outline and probably have segments locked off the planets. Like an example for Oblivion is they have their stuff dealing with cells. Like this cell here, going here, you go through this, it's another cell. I'm pretty sure planets are going to be like their own cell and ecosystem. It's so expansive, they can have whole cities, they can have whole rivers, you can have whole things like that as a whole, which is really dope, you know. I can't wait to see the first bit of mods. I'm going to have a whole mod compilation channel dealing with this stuff if I can run it. You know how it is. I'm really going to get into this. Expect outposts and ship builds to have a very deep fleshed out system. We can already see from the actual direct that it's going to be fleshed out heavily. We're going to see a lot of resource gathering. He gave an instance where you can actually set up trade routes from planet to planet, because he said this is really deep. We don't know how, but we don't know if you're going to terraform your planet. We don't know if you're going to cultivate stuff on the planet. We know it's resource heavy, that you can produce other resources. We don't know if you're going to be farming stuff. How can you have resources on there to sell to other traders and stuff like that in the future? You know, can you have your own little market? And speaking of market, they had to talk about businesses, mercantile skill. You know, I'm talking about bartering skill. How deep will this stuff go? You know, this is the deepest they've already said. This is already the deepest they've ever had with the bartering and customization system. And I'm very, very interested to see how you're going to be like a big time mogul gambler or something like that. How are you going to be in the future of when all this stuff comes out? When you're a high level character, you tell your boy to go over there, sell this cargo for this much. Can you cheat this character over there that, oh, I'm going to sell you this 15 crates of juice, or 15 things of guns, 15 guns over here, but you need this particular crop to get this ammo. How deep does this thing go? Outposts, how big are they? Can you make cities on your planets? You know, it's something like that, man. It gets me very, very hyped of how intricate this thing could be. Outposts can be your economic generator, like I was saying. This could be your money, because we know shipping stuff costs a lot. We don't know how expansive this stuff is going to be, because stuff costs and you need a way to get money. Speaking of your business, no performance mode, which is obviously, I didn't expect this game to have no performance mode. And like he said, we're not going to sacrifice features just for 60 FPS. I'm okay with that. Lock me down. Give me 30 FPS. Good game. That's what I like. Unless it's like an action game or a fighting game. That's the only time where I'll say, you know what? I'll take it. You know, this doesn't need to be like that locked down the road. And this gets me long-winded to talk about roughly 10% life. Planets have life. This right here is going to get misconstrued a lot. Let's go to full screen. We'll talk about this. Okay, let's see what this has to say right here. Okay, when I heard him say this statement as a whole, what people got out of this is this in particular. There's 1,000 planets, maybe less, 1,000 planets in the game. 10% is pretty much used, and the rest of the 90% is empty, barren wasteland. That is heavily not the case. Meaning, keywords of what he said was have life. Okay, 10% will have settlements and stuff like that on it, like particular wildlife. This is what I got from it. 10% will have life. What I don't understand what he's talking about is it pure human life and stuff like that? Because we don't know if there's aliens and stuff in this game. Like, we know this game is an exploration game. I'm pretty sure 10% of everything as a whole is not going to be barren. You're going to see facilities, stuff like that. You're going to see quest related stuff that's to that. Because we know their quest thing is dynamic. You know what I mean? You can have a whole planet with some one thing on it. or a couple things on it. This is how they're designed. You know what I mean? I don't know how. I'll probably give a full bit on how my explanation of quest A, B, and C is going to be and how they're procedurally generating their things. My thing is, based on what they said, I don't think 10% specifically is going to have a lot. I think that they meant wildlife, because we know there's robots and stuff in the game. You can't count that as alive. I don't know if it's copium, if you want to say that shit. Like, I really don't care, you know. I take it stuff as face value. I'm not gonna bash it because that's what they wanted to do. Like whatever. Who gives a shit? But a lot of people are gonna run away with this saying, "Oh, 90% of the game is gonna be empty." You know for a fact that's not what they do. You know 100% for a fact that's not what they do. I know some things that I can piece together that they're gonna have this here, this here, this there, this there. I believe there's something else with the game that we don't know about. The artifacts, stuff like that. Specific locations, main story crap. All those planets cannot be barren based on what they were saying. We know for a fact a good chunk is going to be resource heavy. You can go there and land there if you want, to have your own little outpost. But I'm pretty sure 90% of that isn't just barren. Like, completely. That's just... who knows, man? But I'm pretty sure... stuff is, I can't, the thing is, if they're going to take what I say out of context, I cannot 100% say it is 100% A. Todd said 10%, but I don't know what's, for me, I don't know what counts as life, because just robots count as life, does AI count as life? Based on what he was saying, companions and stuff, is not, something's not lining up. I just can't 100% pinpoint it. That's just me, man. I know a lot of people are going to take that out of context. You can call me a Starfield fanboy if you want. Hey, I'm a Bethesda bias fanboy. I don't have a fan of a lot of shit, but I didn't take it like that as a whole. You know, but who knows, people? This has been, wow, it's only been, what, 16 minutes? Who knows, man? All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, peace for some more gaming content.